Now, the Tuscaloosa Chevrolet Sports Update with WVUA's Gary Harris.
Hello, everybody. I'm Todd Hoyer in for Gary Harris. Well, the Alabama basketball team is one game away from making it back to New York for the second time in 3 years. Now, the number 1 seeded Crimson Tide will face the second-seeded Maryland Terrapins tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. in the NIT Tournament quarterfinals at Coleman Coliseum. The winner will advance to the Final Four at Madison Square Garden next week. Alabama is coming off last Saturday's victory over the 2012 NIT champions Stanford, and Anthony Grant says the Terps will be a very tough game for his squad.
Really impressed watching Maryland's team on film. You look at the success they've had, 24 wins on the season, very competitive in their conference. Very deep team, with 10 guys, obviously led by Des Wells. Done a terrific job scoring, rebounding, defending. They've got really good perimeter play, a lot of versatility. The front court is big and talented and deep. So this will be a great challenge for our team. I think in a lot of ways mirror some of the things that we do from a defensive standpoint. So it should be a great challenge.
Well, after losing to Florida by 1/10 of a point and finishing second last Saturday at the SEC Championships, the Alabama gymnastics team was in their practice facility today watching the NCAA Gymnastics Regional Selection Show to see what teams are going where. The top-seeded Tide is hosting the Tuscaloosa Regional for the 13th time and first since 2011. That will start on April 6th. Joining them will be Iowa State, Kent State, BYU, third-seeded Denver, and 9-time national champion Utah, who is the second seed. Sarah Patterson says this is a very tough regional.
Kind of felt like those top 3 teams were going to be the ones that would be sent here based on the direct matches. So we were prepared, and I think it's a great matchup. The University of Denver has done a great job, and you can't really say much more about the University of Utah. They're 9-time national champions, and they've been to 31 consecutive NCAA championships. We've been to 30, so they're one of the most historic programs in our sport.
Get your tickets now. Tiger Woods was all business Monday at Bay Hill, shooting a final round 70 to win the Arnold Palmer Invitational by 2 shots at 13 under par. Woods has now won 8 of the 17 PGA Tour events he's entered in his career at Bay Hill, while overtaking Rory McIlroy for the #1 world ranking. The first time Woods has held that position since October 30, 2010. Now tomorrow will be Woods' 6,054th day as a professional golfer, and it will also be his 4,362nd as the #1 golfer in the world. Basically, it's 72% of his professional career. How about that, folks? Well, the man that beat Howland and got him fired has been fired himself. Minnesota released head basketball coach Tubby Smith today after 6 seasons with the Golden Gophers. The 61-year-old Smith won 124 games and lost 81, but had a 46-62 record in Big Ten play. Tubby won his first NCAA tournament game at the school this past week against UCLA and then lost to Florida, causing new athletic director Norwood Teague to go in a different direction and buy out the remaining years of his contract. Well, after the Auto Club 400 yesterday, the California Heat must have gotten hold of Tony Stewart because he wanted a piece of Joey Logano. Stewart led 18 laps and had a chance to run up front along with a handful of other drivers on the final restart, but when Logano decided to block Stewart down to the inside, which Stewart said Logano had been complaining about with other drivers recently, it incensed the 3-time Cup champion. Tony exchanged words and a series of hard shoves before the altercation escalated and Stewart was pulled away by crew members. Logano also threw a water bottle at Stewart, which Tony described as the actions of, quote, a little girl. So, Tony, what are you feeling right now?
Tony, what angered you at the end of the race? What did you take issue with?
What the hell do you think I was mad about? Dumb little runs us clear down to the infield. He wants to about everybody else, and he's the one that drives like a little I'm a busty.
Thanks, Tony.
Thank you.
That's basically all I can say about that. That's a look at sports. More news right after this.